Hello everyone! Welcome back to Metaphor! We have completed the Guptaros side quest. We have, well, 1 day left, I think, before we have the whole,
Leave it to me.
you know, sectism church scenario. So, that should mean we will be able to talk to Stroll tomorrow and advance whatever scenario he's got going on.
Okay then.
Back to the city!
Right?
Let's do it! I'm super excited to see what the next leg of the story is.
Alright.
Wasn't easy, but the Guptaros lies defeated, and we have the proof exactly as the woman from the Igniter shop asked of us. Once we show it to her and complete her request, we'll finally be able to shop at the members-only Igniter shop. That will be most useful in helping us amass more firepower. Thus, she'll complete the task. I do plan to. Gordon's announcement is just around the corner. There's no point in trying to predict what he's going to say.
True.
Now. It would be wise to make most of the time we have remaining. Perhaps there are others who require our aid, or we could develop our archetypes. Okay. Very good.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Got away from PoE? Yeah! Should get back to it too. Yeah, I mean, so now that I've beaten the regular 3 acts, I'm gonna have to buy a new headset. This is driving me crazy.
Say there.
Sorry, lost my train of thought, and then this lady into my ear. So it's very strange. But yeah, since I've beaten the the 3 acts in early access, I'm still gonna go through and get to maps, get to the Atlas, but now I have less of the urge of only do that, go, go, go.
Oh, I am grateful.
You know?
Oh, why?
Oh, what to do?
Alright, let's go talk to Brigitte
My wits have left
and see
me.
what's up with her. Plus, I've also just really been enjoying this game, so I don't want to, put it on the back burner or anything.
You.
For the issue we discussed earlier. Oh!
Yes.
I don't like
That
that.
reminds me.
Yeah, Stroll wants to talk to us. I guess, it's not like that's gonna go away. I just thought I was gonna be able to get that done today. I didn't realize that this was going to progress time. This would be the Brute's Horn. Tell me the details inside. Come along. Okay.
Mission accomplished, then. You'll have your reward. I'll let the merchant know to allow you through as well. I thank you.
We got the Pious Igniter, increase to courage, and 7.5k. Nice.
All right.
Ooh, 4 points to courage. Making our way towards that number 2.
I knew an outsider would be perfect for slipping through the cracks. Clearly, you were the right man for the job. You should keep our supply lines flowing smoothly. Thanks for helping us sort this out.
You're welcome.
By the way, what do you say to more consistent work from me?
Heyo, how's it going,
I
Crimson?
can't imagine an elder could find an honest job in the city otherwise. But I don't much care what tribe you are. I'll always make sure you're paid properly for the work you do. Besides, keeping in contact with me might have its own advantages.
I mean, sure.
Have you made up your mind?
I accept. It does seem fishy, but I also accept.
All right. I accept.
A wise choice. Fine then. You seem determined enough. You heard nothing just now, right?
Fuck. Do I be nosy or not? Well, right.
Right. I didn't hear anything.
That's for the best. It was just the wind. Am I clear? I've got some business to attend to. We'll go our separate ways for today. However, I trust you won't be telling anyone what you think you heard. If you do tell anyone, well, I'm sure you're sharp enough to imagine the consequences.
People can't know you got a dog?
Then we have a deal.
Trust beneath all the wariness Brigida feels towards me.
The trader and iconoclast,
The merchant!
Brigitta.
Woo!
Within her dwells the virtue of the merchant. Nurture thy bond with her, and a new power yet slumbering within thee may awaken.
Yay, new bond! Woo!
Interesting. Perhaps he does have hidden depths.
Now study the merchant in academia. Try seeing what new powers await you.
You'll pick up your next job here. Come
Interesting.
back another day.
Watch streak, 40 stream streak. Holy shit. You're likely going to break this while you're at work, so don't expect it to get much higher. Maybe. We'll see.
What is it?
We'll see.
What is it?
Talk to them at night.
Really?
We have no real requests. You have to study the gunner archetype. Don't have access to. On activities. Increase our tolerance. Our tolerance does still need to be increased, as does our imagination. We haven't done anything on eloquence yet.
What is it?
We'll go for some tolerance.
Yeah.
Let's do it then.
You're a big help. Next up is... Then...
Cockatoo Woolly Cloud Omelet. The eggs in this dish are supposed to have a fluffy look and texture. How do we do that? I think generally you The cooking on low heat actually makes things tend to be runnier. Like if you're doing eggs, you want to cook. If you want a runny omelet, generally want low heat, or you want like very high heat, very quick, very controlled. So I don't think it's cook it on low heat. Whisking can kind of depend, but if you over whisk, you can break the proteins, especially if you're like salting it, right? Which I think tends to lead to a more homogeneous thing, but I could be incorrect. I don't actually know the answer to this. Say use less oil. But I don't know that that would make a difference.
So then...
Use less oil when we fry it?
Yeah?
I don't know that that's how that works. Cause the eggs to burn, but you suppose you still have to serve it to the customer. Okay, so
Kinda
not
weird.
oil.
All right.
Good to know. We suck at cooking eggs. Look, I didn't say use no oil.
It would
I said
seem
use
that
less
disaster was
oil.
averted.
The option use less oil implies we're using a lot of oil. You chose the second one. Wasn't that one either?
Right then.
I guess
Today's Forden's big announcement.
if that's the case, it's gotta be the bottom one. So use low heat. That's strange to me because I don't know.
Wonder what he's planning. I guess the church has to have some reaction to all that stuff the king said.
I mean, you
Whatever
would
it
think.
is, Luis won't be able to just ignore it. This might be a day that goes down in history.
You getting spooked, Dotus? Go to sleep. You're fine. Go to sleep. You're fine.
Ladies and gents, lend me your ears. Sanctifex Forden has spoken. The giant face in the sky, the massive rocks appearing throughout the land, and the mysterious voice claiming to be the past king. The Sanctus Church has officially recognized these happenings as the will of His Royal Majesty.
So it really is His Majesty?
And so, as His Majesty has decreed, whoever has gained the greatest trust of the people by the day of decision shall be our new king. This is a historic moment, good citizens. It's revolutionary. It's unprecedented. No matter who you are, you can take the throne.
Anyone? Even me?
If, and this is a big if, you are
Magic-
the
King
person
be
that
dead.
all
I
our
mean, it's still
people
His Majesty.
trust most in their hearts.
Maybe you could be king yourself, eh? You're popular enough.
Me? In charge? Well, that's the last thing this country needs. Right, let's review what we know, shall we? First, the new faces that have appeared on the rock. It shows us who's foremost in the running. We've worked out that much. The top 3 of the lot are also shown in the sky. Suppose that way you can see their inspiring faces anytime, anywhere.
Hold on. How's us common folk supposed to stand a chance against all these upper crusters?
Say you do become popular. With your face clear for all to see, surely that'd make you a prime target for assassination.
Not quite, friend. Not quite. A valid concern, but one His Majesty prepared for. Popular aspirants, at least those who make it onto the rock, are protected by royal magic. Assassinations off the table. Magic chains will spring to life and bind anyone who tries. I saw it happen with my own eyes to Count Luis's sorry assailant.
So, literally anyone could be king? Even a pauper? Or a slave? Or a criminal?
A criminal?
Hold on. You mean to say we might not be ruled by Clamar? What does that mean for us?
Right, I've said my piece. You know all I know. Now go forth, ladies and gents, and spread the word. Whether you're from our fair capital or the middle of nowhere, the crown's within your grasp. Anyone in the land could be our next king.
The way they're couching this is very odd to me. I get it, right? But why would the
I heard
church
the
be like,
announcement.
anyone
The
can be
church
the
has
next
chosen to
king?
recognize this face's words as
Rather
crown
than be
sent and
like,
shall abide by
you
them.
should
They
support
conceded that one
the
quickly.
church, or, you know.
Though I suppose it's a hard thing to deny, what with the royal palace hanging up there in the clouds.
Had they rushed a coronation for His Eminence Forden, it would have dashed any hope of reinstating His Highness. A small comfort.
I can tell from your face there's some bad news too.
Do you recall those chains that froze Alsace in place? It seems that too was part of His Majesty's magic. Plainly, any candidates of sufficient favor cannot be deposed by force.
That's not good.
No, 'tis not indeed. This marks Luis as nigh untouchable. I will still seek to find him. Yet, even should we stand before the man himself, we could not kill him.
No! If we can't kill him, then how do we break the curse?
What the hell was the king thinking? Grius was trying to save his son. He died for it.
Even so, without this magic, no aspirant would be safe from assassination, leaving Luis to dominate through sheer martial strength. We appear to be at an impasse.
Except someone else.
Everyone, have you seen Maria?
Oh no.
Did something happen?
I checked her room and she isn't there. She wouldn't just leave without telling anyone. I couldn't deal with losing both of them.
I'll go look for her.
You will? Thank you. When I think of what might happen to her...
If she left her room on her own, she must have had some reason.
Let's go search for her. If we head into town, we might find some clues.
Where?
You're kidding.
No.
Whatever.
And that kid? Yeah, I saw her earlier. Where was she headed? The stairs north of Sunshade Row, you know, by the general store? Didn't look to be running an errand, though.
Hey!
Might find someone else who saw her headed.
Ridiculous. Oh, I'm in it now.
What's it now?
Seems the trouble at the Grand Cathedral's been settled. I heard from a soldier that I know that apparently they saw folks controlling a mysterious magical power without using igniters. Quite an intriguing tale. You want to see? Careful taking the piss with your elders, boy, but yes, I can see how a young lad could believe it. When I served, I heard plenty of stories about the Annex War. Granted, igniters at the time weren't as developed as they are now. I remember one tale about a mage who could use real magic, even involved some secret ritual or what have you. I'd hoped to witness it at least once before I died, but it seems slinking around the magic shop's the closest I'll get.
Oh, I'm in it now.
Speaking of igniters, let's check our Pious Igniter. Enables the multi-target recovery skill Mage Devotion when equipped. Interesting. You wonder if you'll need all the royal virtues at max at the ending, or at least a certain level. I would assume that you don't need them at max to beat the game, but I would assume that you will need them at max to, like, get all the, you know, things up and get all the secrets and etc. etc. Pious Igniter. Skill. Mage Devotion. Weak HP recovery for all allies. So it's a medi, but more expensive. It's the same as other igniters. It lets you use a skill that you might otherwise not be using, but at the cost of... Here.
I'm in trouble now.
What you need?
Army apparently took care of that necromancer everyone's been talking about. He should have been judged here. That would have made everyone feel much better.
This is all right.
Hey, kid.
Hey, mister!
The next king's gonna punish the bad tribes. You better run away, Elda. They're gonna kill you. I'm gonna punch you, little shit.
I'm in it.
If you ask me, what a warrior needs most is agility and luck. First is agility, not only to beat your enemy to the punch, but also for escaping when you need to. And luck, to put it blindly, all that matters in the end. Cowards who lack courage, they don't go out honorably, tell you that. Even getting paid well is a matter of luck, isn't it? Just a theory of mine, but feel free to take it to heart.
Hey, listen.
Let's save real quick. All right. I'm in town.
sorry, but...
Hello.
Hey!
We're looking for a little girl. Have you seen anyone like that around here? Could it be that half-blood? If so, then yes, I did see her. She was muttering Papa and looking all sad. I saw her go through the back alley. Could she have gone to the Grand Cathedral? I mean, probably.
I'm out of ideas. Just can't believe it's true.
Mom hasn't come back. Dad said she went somewhere far away. I asked who was going to cook dinner, and Dad started crying.
Can't believe it's true. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, this is all right.
How did I wind up here?
Hello there.
You know that little half-blood girl? Can't let a girl like that walk the streets alone. You're just asking for trouble. You just went inside. Wait, you let her pass? Why? The way her eyes looked, I'd not be the one to stop her now. She's been coming to pray for a while, no matter how many glares she gets. Going to Papa's grave. Oh, no. Going inside the cathedral.
Huh? Why?
Everyone's worried about you.
Everyone was worried about you.
Sorry. Papa hasn't come home. And I always come here whenever I'm feeling lonely. One time he came here to get me. I remember because he called my name. But I pray. And he still doesn't come back. Maybe because the cathedral's broken?
Maria.
Miss Fabienne says Papa can't come home anymore. But I know... Papa's gone away. He's gone somewhere I'll never see him again. Hasn't he? It's going to be so lonely. The loneliest it's ever been. But I have to be strong, don't I? But if it gets any lonelier, I don't know if I can do it.
I'm sorry. I promised we'd all come back together.
Why does everyone always leave? Mum was sick. The king and prince are gone. And now Papa? Why does everyone always leave? Is it my fault? I really did my best to be a good girl, but...
That's not why.
He's right, Maria. It's not your fault at all.
Listen to me, all right? Your father, he was fighting a very bad man. We were with him, but we couldn't protect him. I'm sorry.
I remember Papa saying something like that. He said, a really bad man might be our king. Is that part of it?
It's going to be all right. Don't worry.
That is not what I said. Well...
I hope the next king is as nice as you. Then maybe things won't always be so sad.
Ideal world, people... Matter. Told me that.
I think I understand the king's intentions now. Maybe this is the sort of tragedy he was trying to end. Maybe he wanted a world where the crown goes to one who acts like a king ought to. Not whoever's willing to spill the most blood to do it.
You may be right, but much as we wish it, this is not a fight that might be ended through words alone.
Even so, we have to try.
Maria, you're safe. Oh, you had me worried sick.
I'm sorry for leaving on my own.
No, it's all right.
Miss Fabienne, I'm hungry.
Maria, yes, that's right. Let's all sit down for some supper together. Thank you for finding her.
Sadness.
It looks like she's worked things out.
She's a strong girl.
But we've more troubles ahead. How now do we resolve this curse upon His Highness?
If Luis is the curse's caster, we've got to kill him to dispel it. So how do we do that if he's shielded by the king himself?
I wish I could report back, but the prince is still asleep, and we're losing time. I don't think going back to the village is an option.
We cannot lose faith yet. There must be some further course we can pursue.
Well, there's the church's announcement. I expect they're trying to stop a wave of rival candidates from flooding the standings. I doubt the church would accept this popularity contest if they didn't already have a plan to game it.
True enough. I can only wonder at their aims. For today, we should content ourselves with rest and recovery.
Late night.
Sorry, did I wake you? Laying here, I always end up caught in my own thoughts. Grius and Maria. The prince. Just thinking in circles again. Not good, is it?
Not awake enough for this shit. Let's think about it together.
Let's think about it together.
Keeping me company, are you? You really are a strange one. My kind of strange, if I'm honest. That book, is that the novel you're always carrying around? Feels like months ago now that I spotted you buried in it on the carriage ride to the fort.
Want to read it?
If you don't mind, since we've finally some room to breathe. Oh, interesting. It's written through the lens of a fictional land. This bit's about the Utopia's security. In this world, there is no blood-stained contest for sovereignty. The people choose their sovereign from among themselves. One cannot put a sovereign to the sword to seize power. Such an act would be met with scorn and judged as murder. Taking power or wealth by force is seen as the most shameful of transgressions. Couldn't be further from reality, could it? We've a Kingslayer on the brink of seizing the throne right now.
No, it couldn't be further from reality, unfortunately.
And this idea of competing for public support. Here it sounds so commonplace, but the idea's thrown us all into chaos. Interesting. Perhaps I'm overthinking, but it sounds almost like the aim of the king's magic. You suppose there's some common inspiration? Still, I don't imagine this would turn out well in the real world. In public opinion, tribal perspective always divides us. Besides, does a decision made by the people guarantee it's right? Tribal squabbles aren't always political.
No, a decision made by the people does not guarantee that it's right. It absolutely does not.
Take us Clamars, for example. It can be hard for us to see outside the bubble of our own worldview. We're the majority, and the tribe of the royal bloodline besides. That privilege can make us insensitive. A problem with no easy solution, I fear. Lofty words. I can hardly come to terms with my own ideals. Still, the discussions helped clear my head a little. Thank you. I've been so fixated on killing Luis, but maybe we could look into whether that's really the only way to lift the curse. Sleep should come easier now. I think I'll give it another chance.
You think more is like from Earth or something, and this book is about him documenting it? Maybe. I could, maybe. I don't know that I really have a strong thought on that yet, like a good prediction or anything. I jump at predicting storylines and outcomes of games and things like that, but I've got there's a lot of threads and a lot of tentative concepts I think going on, but nothing that would allow me to feel like I had the ability to jump to that kind of conclusion. Yeah, Spidey sense is not tingling necessarily.
Wait, how long have you been asleep?
This is like the main character's MO. He just gives the book to someone else and just goes the fuck to sleep.
The age of a new king draws nearer.
He's just like, look, read this. I'm fucking going to sleep. I'm done.
Ladies and gents, have you heard the news? The curtain's about to rise on the show of a lifetime. To choose our new ruler, we're going to give all of you a chance to take center stage in a show of power for the whole kingdom. And we call it the Tournament for the Throne. Our aspirants will set out on a grand tour of the 3 allied nations' capitals, taking part in a variety of exciting trials. First, we have the Exhibition of the Brave. Slay a monster plaguing our fair people and bring its head to Oceania's capital in time. Biggest find takes the win. Official word is, this event's open to all. So what do you think, ladies and gents? Are you in it to watch or in it to win?
So that's the church's play.
Why call us so early in the morning? What is that journal?
I had Fabienne bring it up. Something occurred to me, so I asked her to go through Grius' personal effects.
Hey, looks like he was investigating the curse too.
There's a note here. Given the spell's complexity, it must have required a scribed formula.
You mean to suggest Luis possesses a written composition of the curse somewhere? And if we can find that...
Yes! I'd wager, even if we can't kill Luis, we might still have a shot at breaking the curse.
But that attack took place years ago, didn't it? This curse's formula could be lost for good.
We have little choice but to hope it's not. I'm not saying it would be easy. And the real trick will be finding it. We wouldn't leave it unprotected.
It's just another option when right now you have no other
option.
option.
The church was handing these out.
A flyer for the Tournament for the Throne. This popularity contest is state-sponsored now.
Yes.
An interesting gamble for those politicians. I like the bit about all this being in the interest of fairness, those weasels. But saying it's being organized by the state. The throne's empty. This smells like the theocracy at work. Probably Forden himself.
You think Forden's looking to fix the competition in his favor? He's been in first place this whole time.
In the interest of fairness, remember?
He wins
if he wins a
he
fair
legitimizes
race, he gets
it.
legitimized, and Luis gets put on the back foot.
Yep.
That bodes ill. Those with existing support could easily solidify their claim. Even should His Highness wake, he may lose the throne.
If we don't hurry and find a way to get close to Luis, we're sunk. What are we supposed to do?
I mean, this gives us the end, right? The very purpose of the church doing this, right, is that if Luis doesn't participate, then he will lose public support, right? Forden's obviously going to participate, so if Luis doesn't participate, he loses public support. So Luis is going to have to participate. And if Luis is going to participate, we participate, or at least are in the same area as the things that are happening, accidentally participating, and thereby get our chance to investigate Luis. Need a plan, and then we can take action. As an Elda, I'm an outcast in the city. I think that gives us an advantage here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We enter the tournament for the throne.
Let's enter this tournament for the throne.
Huh? Hey, were you even listening to us?
Oh, they'd just be like, what? Also, I love that tapestry with all the food stuff on it. Like, that's great.
Besides, the prince isn't exactly in a position to take part in...
Wait. It sounds crazy, but I think he might be onto something there. This could be just the excuse we need to get close to Luis. He doesn't care about your tribe so long as you prove capable, yes? That's what Zorba was saying. Which means, even though the world looks down on you as an elder, having the power to kill humans puts you in his good graces.
You're going to make him a candidate for the throne?
If all we need to do is get Luis's attention, then that's sure to get the job done. If we're lucky, he might even try to recruit us.
I see. An undercover operation, is it? Quite a gambit. But it may well be our best chance at finding this formula.
Just hold on a second. Getting Luis's attention is all well and good. But remember who's actually risking their life here.
Yeah, all of us.
What do you think? Having heard all this, do you want to enter the running?
It's for Maria. Your choice. I feel like it wouldn't be there without a reason. Yeah, no is not an option. No is not on the list. Yes. I'll think about it.
If it's for Maria's sake.
I see.
Right.
Reminded of the words the prince spoke to me in our youth.
In my ideal world, people can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter. No matter who someone is, they deserve a fair country. If it's to help achieve that, I will stand for the prince as a candidate for the throne.
Sheesh. So much for being a guide. Now you're the one leading me around.
Your resolve has marked you a fine fit for the role. I have trusted you with my life before, and would gladly do so again.
Inherited Grius's journal. That reminds me, I need to read some memorandum stuff. We might be doing that for like the next 30 minutes.
Good heavens. Haven't you put yourself in enough danger? Listen to me. I don't want you going down the same path he did. Are you really this set on running off again?
This is not the answer that I would answer. But I want to answer this because of them.
I have to carry on his legacy.
I see. Well, I'm sure he'd be glad to hear it. I'll be cheering for you in this mess of a competition. Truth be told, I wish I could do more than feed and shelter you.
What's the competition?
It's a big, grand race to see who will be the next king. The whole country will be watching.
So you're going to try and become king? Wow! Then I'll cheer for you as loud as I can.
You have your first advocate, it seems.
Suppose you'll have to actually try for the throne now, eh? Your Majesty.
That's the plan. Yeah, they're all like undercover shit. I'm like, nah, I'm actually going for the throne.
That was the plan from the start.
That's the spirit.
Well, if we want Luis to notice you, we'll have to make quite a stir among the people. Maybe reaching for the throne will do it.
Does that mean you're not coming back?
No, we'll be back. Although we might be a while.
I don't like when it gets lonely.
Maria.
But I'll be cheering for you. I hope you win the race. You be a good king.
We'll see each other again.
You better not forget.
Go making promises I might not be able to keep.
We best get registration out of the way, but we'll need some legs for the journey. It's mostly lawless wastes between cities.
Judging by this specified deadline, we're unlikely to reach the Principality of Oceana's capital in time on foot.
I bet all these fancy nobles have their own gauntlet runners to ride in.
A carriage might save our chances, if we could find one. Perhaps we split up for now. I'll leave you two to the registration. They should be taking entrance at the recruitment center.
Oh
This
shit!
should be the place,
What's his
right?
face?
Excuse us, we're looking to join the tournament for the throne.
Aye? Bit young, ain't ya? And who's the kid?
He with you?
I'm the one entering.
I'm the one entering.
You? Really?
I've not heard of any age restrictions. There a problem?
Well, I'd not have thought it, but you're an elder, ain't ya? And you want to be king. Well, the novelty of it might win you some looks.
Hey!
Could you just do your job, please? Can he register or not?
He hasn't been especially unfriendly, honestly.
An elder? Now that I think of it, weren't you in that pack of recruits that went off to the northern fort? Thought I heard they were all wiped out.
What? We got a deserter turning up.
No, they said he'd just dragged the company down, so they left him at the capital. He, got on the captain's bad side.
Could swear I've seen you before, too. Well, hardly matters with no captain to verify it with. Go on, then. You can represent the lesser tribes so nobody complains.
Yay!
That was a close one.
And, obviously, you're gonna need a carriage. Otherwise, the whole thing's off for you. Now, you're obligated to attend the opening ceremony tomorrow. It'll be at the plaza at the Grand Cathedral. Don't be late.
Okay.
We'll have to hope Hulkenberg can find us a carriage.
As for us, I expect we should see about finding a monster to slay. If it's not impressive enough, Luis won't look twice at you.
Some postings over there. They should be offering bounties on monsters the guard can't handle. Let's take a look.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
One of these bounties is bound to make me stand out.
But which? Bigger is probably better.
Hang on! There's nothing but small-time contracts here!
Are you not here for this tournament, then? Bit slow, I'm afraid. Most of my worthiest monster bills have already been snapped up by other competitors.
How about requests on anything aside from monsters? Bounties include criminals too, right?
I suppose I've got one of those, yeah.
Let's see. Ugh, he's horrible. Heisme, a villainous kidnapper. Looks like the army's been trying to catch him for a while now.
This might just be perfect.
Whoa. You have any idea who that is?
You?
That man's an elite. An ex-royal knight, they say. He'd make short work of a scrawny little urchin. You can be sure of that.
I like your
Besides,
dog.
Didn't you hear what it is they're actually looking for?
Oh, of course. It's about whoever can bring in the biggest monster head, right?
If you imbeciles can't even get that straight, you've no chance at winning. They want kingly types, not children play acting.
I like your dog.
Stuck up little... Is that the kind of competition we can expect?
He was right about the rules, though. What are you thinking?
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
We're supposed to get a monster's head. So why are you going for a criminal? Any idea what he's up to?
We don't need to win. We just need to get noticed.
Maybe it's because we don't actually have to win?
Sharp as always, Captain. Don't worry, I'll explain everything later.
As long as you can convince Hulkenberg, I guess.
We don't have to win, we just have to get notoriety, right? Someone else can bring the biggest monster head and win that portion of the competition, but if we show up with a famously wanted criminal that has been at large for a long time, it's still going to generate a lot of chatter and also goodwill, because you say you do win the biggest monster head. Cool, you went out into the middle of nowhere and killed a big monster and brought it back. This guy is terrorizing the roads, right? Like screwing over the common folk, etc., etc. So you do that, you might not win, but you'll garner popularity and gain notice.
Ho there! Are you really taking the bounty on Heisme? You three must be heaven sent. Please, would you listen to our plight?
I've been waiting to talk to you for a while, my dude.
Your pardon, gentlemen. I'm Barton, a guard captain for Matira, a town to the south. The bounty on Heisme is up at my behest.
A guard captain? This fellow's made some powerful enemies.
We can't afford lenience. On top of his past crimes, Heisme has stooped to abducting our wee ones. Our children. Selling them off, some say. If our city becomes known for nightly disappearances, what sane resident would stay? Community and trade will dwindle and die.
But he's just a lone kidnapper, right? Even if he's some infamous criminal, why can't the guard handle it?
That's the trouble. He makes his hideout somewhere too dangerous for our soldiers to tread. Deep in the territory of vicious giant worms. We've no idea how he manages to operate out there without getting devoured himself.
I see. Tricky problem indeed.
I'd no choice but to swallow my pride and post a bounty. Yet no matter how many times I renew the bill, none have taken it. A pitiful sight, isn't it? A soldier who can't protect his home, whether by strength or by surrender. Laugh if you must.
I don't think you're pitiful.
There's nothing pitiful about it.
You only cast away your honor in the name of protection. Nothing pitiful in that. Swallow your pride no more, man. We'll take your contract.
Thanks to you. That you'd accept such a perilous request, even with this tournament looming over everything. Closure. Thank you all, and thank God for bringing you to me. In that case, we shall meet in Matira, the old castle town. Please, make haste.
Well, no backing out of this now. You sure this is what we want?
Way I see it, if we want to make a big impact this late, it's going to take some creativity. Besides, this is apparently a knight-turned-kidnapper. The man can't be allowed to go
Drop
on.
a building on him?
What would His Royal Highness do in our
maybe.
place?
I guess that's fair.
I'll convince Hulkenberg. Somehow. You go on and accept the contract.
Oh. I actually have to accept the contract?
True.
Guard captain is struggling with this bounty, then I say it's the perfect target for us. I don't think many would take it out from under us, but you may as well grab the request besides. Makes it official.
I can't forgive that, no.
Too late, all the eye-catching postings are already taken. Though a bounty need not be a person. If I procure the head of some horrific monster like a human, my family's name will be known to the world in no time. Hold on a moment, please. Isn't besting a monstrosity like that a bit more complicated? Yeah, you gonna do that yourself, old man? Bunch of idiots. It's almost laughable to think they have a shot at becoming king. A bunch of jokers. That's rude! Human is the worst monster. Also true.
Hello there.
There's only one requirement to register at the recruitment center. Be from Grand Trad. To be in the opening ceremony, you have to declare yourself a resident. Oceania and Montario have their own registries. Suppose that keeps it fair, and hey, mind your own business, Elda.
Really now?
Don't tell me what to do.
What in the blazes?
Think. A beat-down gauntlet runner like my dad's can't handle much, but if I really want to be king, I gotta go big and nab something that'll stand out at the exhibition.
Oi, oi!
That's a whippersnapper like you doing here. Don't tell me, are you actually thinking of participating in the tournament for the throne? The audacity of youth. That's rich. A mere fledgling with no history or experience to speak of as king. The idea makes me sick to my stomach.
No, thank you.
The ideal leader of this country is a dignified man of great age, one with years of experience. And yet upstart school children like you and Luis dare to... I've got feelings! Yes, because super old men should be the ones to plan the future that they will not be a part of. Absolutely. Just ignore him and head to the receptionist. Agreed.
What to do? Look at that.
Almost all the requests are gone. The only one left worth taking is this bounty for Heisme, whatever that is. What's Troll think we'd gain here? I guess let's take this Heisme one to the window.
Look at that.
Hey!
Be alright if we accepted the bounty contract for Heisme? You can handle that. And be held liable if you get yourself killed out there. Of course I can. You're an odd one, alright. Either that or you're just green. Head to Martira. You can probably get more information there.
Let's focus.
No deadline? Really? The old Castletown kidnapper. I need to find and bring in Heisme, a notorious criminal tied to a series of kidnappings in Martira. Despite his bounty, he has evaded capture and his true identity remains a mystery.
Let's call it.
Tips. 4-star. Interesting. Okay, boomer. What? Why?
No
That's
registration issues, I
anti-boomer.
trust?
Why would I get okay boomered for that? That was me sarcastically saying, like, what the what?
No, indeed. And we found ourselves a perfect target.
Fine work.
Stroll.
See? She's convinced. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. I'll prepare a map of the surrounding areas as well. But never mind that. Have you found us a kingly carriage?
Well, I have made some arrangements. How best to put it? The vessel itself is without peer. Supposedly, it will come to us on the day of the opening ceremony.
You don't sound too sure about that.
Oh, no, I'm certain. All I mean to say is, well, you shall soon see for yourself.
Well, under the circumstances, I'll take what we can get. And setting that up in a day.
That was directed at the old
Not so
guy?
bad having
Okay,
a knight
gotcha.
on
That
our
makes more
side.
sense. No,
You needn't speak so.
Jay is definitely not a boomer.
In truth,
He may act like a
I've
boomer
just
on the
resigned
occasion,
from the Knight's
but he's
Order.
definitely not a boomer.
Though 'tis only my bond of service I relinquish, not my title. We will shortly be seeking Luis's esteem. Should it come to light that I am a knight in active service, it may jeopardize our efforts.
Still, you didn't hesitate to leave. I can tell you're serious about this.
'Twas not an abrupt parting. I've come to doubt the Order since returning to find them serving the Santifex and not the Royals.
An elder
Those who
millennial,
refused the
thank you
Church's
very
rule
much.
were cast out for their defiance. I only hope those fallen knights found useful employ elsewhere.
Sounds like you've been through a lot too.
Well, in any case, we can focus on our bounty contract now. Let's make sure we get some proper rest tonight. Let's rest.
Well met, eh?
Staying at the end for some time? I'd really like to, but one of us. Wherever it is you end up going, be sure to come see Maria and Fabian again. But it's really my concern, but those two seem to like you a lot.
Hey!
I asked Fabian for a map of Martira, and she gave me the one from Grius' personal effects. It covers all the main roads. We may have found one in town. The military map always has more details. Fabian continues to be our anchor. To pay her back, let's achieve our goals. Whatever you say, graying man. Oof. Yike.
Fancy a bit?
Hey, you got anything?
Hello.
Decided I'm heading to... Much too boring to just spend my days at the end. I'm going to see the so-called exhibition for myself. Bye, Elda. You'd do well to see the world too someday. Kind of plan.
Now then.
Preparations seem to be proceeding without issue, well apart from one massive overtuned uncertainty. Never mind, forgive my mutterings. Just please do not be surprised no matter what we're presented with. We're gonna get a gauntlet runner, but it's gonna be like janky. Okay, so no going out tonight. Gotcha. Nice!
Don't push yourself too much.
Tomorrow you depart. Maria will assuredly miss you dearly, so please come back and say hello when you can, even if it's only every once in a while.
What?
mean, I don't have anything else to do.
Good night.
I'm locked in. I'm all locked in.
Can I come in?
Feeling that the Gauntlet Runners are made up with human parts? Well, they're at the very least monster parts. And we know they consider humans to be monsters, and humans are some of the bigger monsters, so I would definitely say it's entirely possible. Want to read some more?
Want to read some more?
Not today. You're all leaving tomorrow, right? I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
It's all right. I won't tell her.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said. And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it? Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
It's a promise.
All right. Promise? The next time I see
Yeah,
you
we've already
again,
been breaking promises, so
can
we
you
might
tell
as
me
well
more
break
about
some
the
more.
outside world?
This one's important.
Maria is waiting for us to return home and regale her with the tales of the strange and distant places we have visited. Curative Coney Roast. Okay.
I never got a chance to say this to Papa. So, thank you. I'll go to bed now.
Captain,
Makes me sad.
may I have a moment?
Good night.
I was hoping for a chance to speak before we set out. Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now, you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden. It pains me to see.
I like her little rose
when I think
necklace.
of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
You truly are devoted to him, aren't you?
I suppose I am at that. A guiding oath of 12 years is not easily cast aside. But that book, we met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
I do recall! You stabbed a man! I do! When you got me thrown out? That's not how that worked. I do remember.
Now that you mention it, I do.
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties, one way or another. So, 'tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned. Ah, you needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you.
Why are they banning utopian society books? Like, what the fuck?
I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden.
Right?
Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents. Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stung them so? Do you mind if I read a passage or two? So, it is a fiction written as if a personal account. This chapter seems to concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided. In this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people. Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. Such is the authority of the people. In this way, it is
Fucking
the people
if
who are the
only.
land's true king.
If only. I mean, it's a meme. It's a fucking trope in our culture to be like, yeah, politicians don't actually do anything.
Quite
It's not
the
true.
opposite of
Politicians
our
do
own
plenty
country.
of things. But the whole
Now I
like
see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts.
getting elected on a particular thing and then not doing those things is so widely assumed. It's wild.
Had our lands embraced such accountability, Perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate.
You're doing a lot of things, and I wish they weren't.
As a knight, it's not
right?
my place to say. I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good.
Clinging to a dream is
suppose
sometimes all people can do.
Tis not so bad to dream now and then.
Absolutely.
It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes.
Yes, it does.
Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength. My dearest dream. 'Tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life. Nothing more.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Judah!
Lady Judah!
Faraway sky, blue and clear. Echo my wish, so that all may hear. One and all born to this land, as here we stand. Let us
I'm gonna fight a lot of these people. A lot of these people I'm gonna fight.
faraway sky so clear. Let my wish echo far beyond the
Like a national anthem or something. They got like 2 people in a box. What the fuck? Well, we found our singer. There's always a singer in an S&T or Persona or any of these. There's always a singer or performer or something.
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's
Hey.
discuss the venues.
Here's the thing, though.
We
that
kick off in the west.
this
in the
has
Pearl of the
no
Coast,
legitimacy.
The Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78 Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
Motherfucker got fireworks. Shit, we ain't got no fireworks.
I claim no great ambition, nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Guido.
Oh.
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence.
He's not even doing his own dirty work.
The throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctus have in this race? Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
Somehow,
What coward
he's
is
the third
Troya?
face of the King's Eye.
Where's Count Louise?
All right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless.
So he's
the
not
brash young warrior serving
entering
Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound.
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Yeah, you're doing great.
Well,
you're doing
it's
great.
Not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions.
List
the great
100
liberal
people.
merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Kraus. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden.
Who the
Sure to be
fuck is
popular
that?
by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow.
I swear to God, if I have to
if we
fight
lose
all of these
this,
people.
I think the country has some even
Free drinks
bigger
for life.
problems.
Absolutely.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate.
Don't
Do we have
do
an
me.
Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
We just get shot. Everyone's like,
What?
A
An elder?
fucking elder?
Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
everyone just flips us the bird.
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
Yeah, like I'm getting pissed.
So, contestants, are you ready?
It's a coming. It's a coming.
Last, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
What the fuck?
A land runner?
It's quick!
Wait, it's headed right for the...
It'll crash! Whoa!
Sorry.
What the heck is that?
Sorry.
Wonderful. So much
Sorry,
for
that's
a
my
first
ride.
impression.
What ho? Isn't she a marvel, chums?
You dolt! You nearly brought down the cathedral!
Have a care, you buffoon. 'Twas bad enough when Luis did it the first time.
That feckless, shameless old fool!
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all.
I nearly died!
Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
I repeat, this tournament has no actual
to the road.
legitimacy.
Come on, come on!
Right? This is like the electoral college of fucking tournaments. Whoever wins this could absolutely not be king. They could win all of the challenges and still not be king. In point of fact, I'm going to predict that that might actually be what happens. And a lot of interest, but I only consider this part of my mission to aid the prince. So we're in like a group of 10 people competing for the throne, and we just bumped from like 6,000 something up to 5,800 something. Shall I just run her along the main road then? The others seem to be doing as much. Just as crazy as this runner? I'll take the compliment, little lady. Now let's have some coordinates for a little test run. It's happening right now.
Let's see.
We want to go to a place called Martira, Old Castletown, I think. Should be a ways south. Ah, my sweet chariot. Our chariot awaits. Alright. Zoom out. We're heading down here. On our way to here. Cool. That.
Let us hurry. Let us hurry.
Let's see.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Hold on. This place here.
Let's see here. Whoa. That's where you want to go.
This place here. This place here.
Wow.
My hands. Down to Martira, eh? On this craft's legs, I'll say that'll be 4 days, 3 nights about.
Oh.
4 days and 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than a carriage, and surely the roads will be safer at that kind of speed. Folly good! Now, cinch those britches, chaps. Full steam ahead to Martira, Old Castletown. Do we actually get to pilot the thing?
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft.
Yeah,
I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
Fuck did you get your hands on this?
Me, lad! Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you used to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto.
Oh
what
no.
do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hulkenberg is not amused.
Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neurus. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
I need more water. Noble District Underhall.
Neurus? Are you there? I'm coming in.
The fuck are you hammering that for?
Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
It's too much to do.
As always. To business, then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But, pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God.
It's fucking hideous and I love it. It looks
Is this
horrendous and I love it.
Gauntlet Runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Nuras, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, he just wanted to make something that he thought was super fucking cool.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders?
No.
You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable!
Get this boy. Well, they got no...
I'm working toward a dream.
Got a little kitty.
And this
another
poor
kitty.
old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer, butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy!
Oh, we got
Treason!
him! We got him on the hook!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the Balliol runner alone.
Look, this runner... Tis fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate.
No touch!
For both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness? Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
What's all that, Dotus? What's
Is
all that?
Enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know
What's all
what you're
that,
thinking,
Dotus?
but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him.
Agreed.
What do you think?
If we die together. Love it. No,
I think we can count on him.
If you're sure, I suppose. We'll deal with it if we have to.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
Implicit
this guy's got no
trust.
filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
You win.
So, summing up.
You win.
Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brilehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
Legit a good idea, though. I think it is right up until it gets us disqualified, and then our ratings tank. You know. I will go with this.
I think it's a perfect idea.
Makes sense, doesn't it? The bounty's Heisme, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back.
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant.
I'm going to say this. What's going to happen is that he is going to turn monstrous on us or something like that, right? Like, it's going to be a man and a monster, or a man who turns monster. We're going to... I bet we're going to get our cake and eat it too.
Misplaced.
Or have our cake and eat it too. You know, type situation. Will you stop touching my chair, sir? Your paws are not required to touch things, Mr. Tap Tap.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the Gauntlet Runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know.
I hope
we
so
can always
for
look
3
around more
days.
thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels.
Yes, he is already a monster, but I mean an actual monster by the definition of what they're
Bound
using.
to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
Gauntlet Runner has various areas for different activities such as the strategy room, the lounge, and the kitchen. You can also visit Academia by finding more and interacting with him. And let's visit the engine room first. Take your time and have a look around on your way there.
Yeah?
Never been in a Gauntlet Runner. Kind of want to see what the engine room is. Okay. I think we're going to save. And I think we're gonna read some memorandum stuff because it's been a while. So, nature, we've got fairies. Fairies are intelligent life forms that originated separately from the 8 tribes. Fairies are magical beings whose lives are dependent on magic itself. Their wings are organs of magical conveyance, making them float naturally, so they only flap them to stabilize themselves in the air. Fairies can also sense the presence or absence of magla around them through their 5 senses. It's a skill that can be shared among fairies, and with training can even be shared with people for short periods of time. Don't choke yourself. In the ancient times, this skill was called Fae Sight and was quite prized. Been told that even kings sometimes took fairies with them on their journeys. Though different sexes exist, it's difficult to visually discern as their appearance often does not change with age. Fairies' lives. Fairies do not have a fixed lifespan. It's determined by their strength of will to accomplish something, such as a goal or mission, and as such, fairies can live over 100 years. Conversely, a loss of motivation can cause even young fairies to enter a lethargy, not unlike sleep, and they eventually fade away. You gonna choke yourself again? This liquid thing.
What is it?
The longer a fairy lives with intent and purpose, the more prominent their intelligence and self-awareness becomes. This change can lead to personality gaps as large as those between an adult and child, occurring over a relatively short span of time. Melancholia crystals. An unusual and dangerous magla crystal that few knew of until recently, characterized by their peculiar form and the rampant pulsing of the magla inside. Massive melancholia crystals can form very quickly, magnitudes faster than average crystals. They are seldom discovered, and the conditions that form them remain unknown. In addition to causing surrounding creatures to undergo a volatile change called melanchalization, I don't like that word. It also attracts abnormal worm-eaten animals and even humans at times. As the rate of growth increases, the light it emits may change, at which point it becomes a trance crystal. Melancholia. A word uttered by the necromancer Zorba, thought to be an invocation of magic where the magla within one's body irrepressibly bursts, causing biological functions to turn irregular. The phenomenon drives most creatures to uncontrolled violence, and bizarre changes can occur throughout the body depending on the degree of its progression. Yikes. Royal magic protection. Seen as a way to prohibit the elimination of a candidate through force, one aspect of the king's royal magic was discovered somewhat belatedly. In the event that a top-ranking candidate with large support is in danger of bodily harm, the perpetrator will be immobilized by a glowing chain-like construction. The protective effect seems to apply only to the top 20 candidates or those whose faces appear on the coronation rocks. Resisting the magic chains and continuing to attempt harm results in the chains tightening, potentially causing death. However, what constitutes as harm is unclear, and it is not known if there are loopholes or exceptions. So what happens when you hit top 20? The monsters keep attacking us. That's what happens. They don't care. A diagram, I would assume that one of the loopholes is if you engage in combat, right? The protections are not granted to you, right? So like if you are going to fight something, the king is not going to protect you from assassination, right? But if someone tries to stab you in the back, in theory, we would be protected. Once we hit the top 20, obviously. Diagram of the formula created to cast the curse on the prince. The curse magic is so complex, none have yet been able to undo its tangled weave. The convoluted nature of the spell has led to the belief that the spellcaster drew the formula as they composed it. Obtaining and deciphering this formula may enable the curse to be revoked. Considering that Luis is protected by royal magic and now cannot be killed, this is the party's last hope to lift the curse. A magnificent room in the Regolith Grand Cathedral adorned with portraits of the kings of generations past. The custom has been for a portrait to be made on a king's ascension to the throne, which was then displayed within the royal palace during his reign and later moved to his grave after his death and burial. However, the Grand Cathedral was built on the land that used to be the royal cemetery, so previous kings' portraits were moved inside when cathedral construction was complete. Aww. Otis got jealous. Artira, Old Castle Town. The town southwest of Grand Trad off the main road. Developed from a town originally formed around Brigante Castle, a military stronghold of the Annex War. The town's distance from the main road gives it a sense of isolation and some say a certain gloom. One of Uchronia's closest towns to the Oceanian border, which made it a cornerstone of Uchronia's defense against Oceania during the Annex War. The relatively flat terrain affords the castle's watchtower a clear view of the town's environs. Any movement or mobilization from Oceania was thus immediately observed, making it impossible to launch a surprise attack on the town, especially as the war predated the invention of the swift, powerful gauntlet runners of modern fame. However, its time as the keystone of Uchronia's front lines has long since passed into Principality of Oceania, one of the Kingdom of Uchronia's 3 constituent countries, occupying its westernmost lands. The Oceania capital, Port Brialhaven, is the largest trade port in the kingdom. Owing to a history of extensive sea route trade with civilians and pirates alike, it's been known for its powerful navy since before the Annex War, and a rich culture centered on its warriors of the sea. The Senate. Council of Sages, who assist the king with political affairs, formed upon the unification of the 3 kingdoms. It consists of 5 members: the Prince of Montario, the Prince of Oceania, the Royal Army's General, the head of the Crown Theocracy, and the head of the Igniter Consortium. The offices are held by different individuals, but have no set term, and while each member is theoretically equal in rank and voice, the influence of the Crown Theocracy has been increasing for decades. More specifically, ever since Forden took the office of Sanctifex and Sanctism became the state religion, Forden effectively became the Senate's primary speaker and representative, tilting the power balance. For the Throne! A large-scale tournament where prospective candidates compete to gain the approval of the people. The winner of this popularity contest will then be crowned king. Not necessarily. The Crown Theocracy proclaimed themselves to be the organizers after the invocation of the royal magic by the previous king. The stated purpose for its candidates to prove their worth by completing tasks while visiting the 3 capitals of the United Kingdoms. But could there be an ulterior motive? Exhibition of the Brave. A grandiose event celebrating the first task of the Tournament for the Throne. For this exhibition, candidates are to neutralize a dangerous creature disrupting the peace of the nation. They must then bring its head to Port Brialhaven in the Principality of Oceania to await judgment of their asset by the masses. The party will have to prepare something spectacular to catch the attention of Luis, who has refused to participate in this mission. We have Elda, Clamar, Roussant, Peripus, Roag, Mustari, Ishkia. We're missing 2 more. Ishkia tribe. Tribe recognizable by their avian wings as well as their almond eyes and long lashes. Although the fewest in number of the 8 tribes, they have a reputation for their intelligence, giving them a strong presence in bigger cities. Many find higher status in intellectual labor, such as scholars and sanctors and the like, making it not uncommon for Ishkia to be wealthy. Due in part to their regal stature, the Ishkia are commonly admired. However, the act of speaking down on others has been ingrained in their nature for some, making it just as common for them to be resented. Incidentally, their avian-like wings are purely cosmetic. Though they are able to move them to a small degree, they have no structure. They're actually just clusters of feather. Those who aren't fond of the Ishkia latch on to this deficiency of flight to ridicule them. Half-blood. Children born to parents of disparate tribes. Half-bloods often inherit physical attributes of both tribes, such as evidenced by Zorba and Maria. While it is theoretically possible for any of the tribes to bear offspring together, conceiving a child between differing tribes is less viable than within the same tribe, therefore they are few in number. Even in metropolitan areas with diverse populations, those with mixed heritages are rarely to be seen. Half-blood children are often ostracized from both tribes they hail from, due to their unnatural appearance. The typical characteristics they would otherwise inherit from each tribe can be underdeveloped, leading to smaller wings for a half-blood Ishkia or a singular horn for a half-blood Clamar. They are greatly misunderstood, generally isolated from others, and face unjust societal disdain. Wow, this game just is such a fucking analog for so many things we deal with. Holy fuck. Nearus Korax, a genius engineer of the Ishkia tribe, he single-handedly manage all things Gauntlet runners, from planning to maintenance to piloting, and was contracted to build the prince's Gauntlet runner before the prince vanished. He comes from a noble, highly respected family with a stately mansion in Grand Trad, but as he shows absolutely no interest in social status or family prestige, is dismissed by his family as an unmanageable oddball. Despite his pedigree, his appointment to build the prince's runner was solely based on merit, not his social standing. Since then, Nearus has retained a strong sense of gratitude towards the royal family. Unfortunately, as both the prince and king met successive suspicious ends, Nearus was unable to repay their favor, which burdened him greatly. Guido. Ovis Guido, a muscular, bald-headed Roussant warrior who serves as both captain of the Monk Army, the enforcement arm of the Crown Theocracy, and Forden's primary bodyguard. He assumed the role of captain after his predecessor lost his life during the suppression of the Mage Academy in Montario. He specializes in a unique fighting style that combines magic, staff, and spear techniques passed down through generations of warrior monks. Zorba, he's dead. Circeum, Zorba, part of the entourage Luis brought with him to the royal funeral, a skilled mage who demonstrated such fanatic loyalty to Luis that he willingly descended into necromancy. His single-horned and closed third eye suggest a half-blooded Clamar and Mistari ancestry, and discrimination he faced for these circumstances likely led to his blind fanaticism. Glodel. Idaeus? Glodel, a young Roussant warrior who serves Luis in his lower rungs. Keeping his dog at his side, even in battle, he's earned the title the Black Hound out of both fear and ridicule. Because Luis did not formally enter the tournament for the throne, Glodel entered of his own volition to secure Luis's following and act as a proxy for their support. He hopes that if he can make a name for himself in the tournament, Luis will acknowledge him. Oh, buddy. Batlin! Albus Batlin, a Clamar man who works as a crier for the Crown Theocracy. Most criers prefer rhetoric that venerates and strengthens the authority of sanctism and the royal family, but Batlin is the opposite, prioritizing the provocations of the people as though commenting on a sport. Though highly admired among the townspeople, he drew the ire of the Crown Theocracy for his roguish methods. However, when the royal magic made what amounted to one's popularity the sole factor in succession, Crown Theocracy pivoted, suddenly assigning Batlin the monumental responsibility of heading Sanctism's public relations as the tournament's official crier. Barden. Elphus Barden, a strapping Roussant warrior serving as captain of the Guard Corps in Martira. A man of integrity, his careful and fair judgment is so trusted he's treated as right-hand man to the Lady of Martira. He traveled a great distance to Grand Trad to post a bounty for the criminal responsible for an unsolved series of kidnappings plaguing Martira. Milo. Maurizio, an Ishkia candidate participating in the tournament, a princely man claiming to be an illegitimate son of the Montario royal family. He pledges to adopt a caste system based on beauty. Jesus. With himself, the most beautiful of all, bestowing grace and honor upon the country as its king. His suave looks and mannerisms have earned him a devout following. Fucking wild. Each time he smiles from the stage on his gauntlet runner, the Palace of Beauty Hildebrand, shrill screams can be heard from the crowd. Town criers. Spokespeople for the Crown Theocracy. As literacy rates are low, they are also responsible for spreading proclamations and other important information to the kingdom's masses. Friars are often seen speaking on the street corners of larger towns, even when no major event is taking place. Gauntlet Runner Engineer. An engineer that designs and maintains gauntlet runners. Because magla crystals power runners, engineers need to be familiar with the workings of magic and magic igniters, but they also need to be well versed in a wide range of fields, from dragon crystal technology for movement to armaments for battle. As the costs required are substantial, engineers almost exclusively come from noble families who own gauntlet runners. Wandering Scholars. Academics in various fields ranging from magic and magic beings to igniter development and gauntlet runner engineering to the history of the old world. Many studied at the Mage Academy, but when the Crown Theocracy forced its closure, surviving scholars hid themselves from the church and began studying independently. Apparently, young students of means mostly continue their studies by roaming the land and visiting their mentors. Closure. An archaic word of prayer in Sanctism. Every person in the kingdom, regardless of religious affinity, is familiar with this solemn oath. It is an extremely ancient word that predates the Ukrainian calendar, its exact origins unknown. That's interesting. Bounty target. Found in all 3 major cities, one will find a list of targets to be subjugated or captured here. By doing so, gain a reward. Most requests are made by the state army, which is often short on manpower, and potential targets range from monsters to people. The intelligence network of the state army allows information regarding bounties to be shared instantly among all recruitment centers. Ordinary citizens may also post bounties as long as they leave a deposit. Alright, cool. Sweet. Un momento. I will be right back. I'm gonna go get some water, because I'm a little parched, especially after reading all that. I'm not gonna have the BRB on the screen. Un momento. Okie dokie. Let's see ourselves around this place, shall we? Runner makes a smooth ride, at least. This is... okay. Eccentricities aside, he certainly earned his title as court engineer. That said, I'm more concerned with its unseen workings. I do hope he hasn't made any dubious additions. I hope he has made some dubious additions.
Oh.
Carriage can't begin to compete with the Gauntlet Runner's speed. I suppose they've earned their reputation. That I'm in constant fear of losing my lunch is far from ideal, but once I get used to it, I'm sure the journey will be pleasant. Apparently, Nuris can speak to us from the cockpit through this bent metal tube. Door must lead to the end of the Gauntlet Runner. It's locked tightly to prevent accidental entry. Cockpit appears to be above here. Mind the rope, lad. Wouldn't want you going overboard. Perhaps I should stay away from that. Reinforced steel on top of thick glass. It doesn't appear to be easily breakable. Holy shit. My dude, are you just holding left? Hey! Are you just holding left on the steering wheel? We're going in a circle. Oh, no, we're veering right now. I bet we're going in like a big figure 8. Kind of wild. at this. Shoot it down. The fuck? I wonder if I can actually get in fights up here. Oh look! What the fucking... Are we about to drive through a town? That's interesting. Neat. Obviously, these aren't like highly detailed environments or anything like that, but they didn't have to do this. Yeah, those legs are wild. A tail swinging back and forth. Holy shit. That's kind of cool. Honestly, kind of cool. Kind of cool. Deck. Oh shit. Such a fucking pirate. Oh, it put us back. I see, I see. Look at that! Wild. Strategy room. Where we came from. Alright, cool. Pretty neat. Honestly, pretty neat.
Incredible!
It's made for bathing? Can we really just hop in mid-ride and take a real bath? Now that I could get used to. I call for a stiff.
Hey!
Just going to stride up and strip nude? Where do you think you are? Unacceptable.
You really?
Bathing room. On to mention, no running water yet. Working on it.
Damn.
Oh, what? Pantry. I can go into the pantry. Nice. Some rock beans and gauntlet shrooms. Did they grow here? I could use these for cooking. Okay. Check the stuff on the occasion. Stocked with food suitable for a long journey. I would prefer to cook it first before eating it.
So?
You have to wash your dishes properly, but being that water is a precious resource, that actually goes double. Hulkenberg said that most things are edible if you put them over a fire, but is that really true? I mean, yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, so we can cook here, but we can't currently. Cask of Neris's secret stash. Its mellow aroma wafts into the air. Oh no. It's like submarine beds. Oy. Thanks, I hate it. I guess. Wonder who came up with Gauntlet Runner design? I don't know. It's pretty cool. Bookshelf. Here's his personal collection of books. They're too technical for me to understand. Ah. Well, that's cool. Maybe some concept art. I like that. Huh. Gallica actually lands on my shoulder. That's kind of neat. A little ship painting. On the back deck, see if there's anything to see.
What's this?
Cloth-covered barrel. Beneath this cloth, there seems to be a big barrel. I wonder what it's used for. I don't know. Huh. All right, then. Down to the engine room. Hey, more's down here. Washing machine. A machine that does laundry, handmade by Nurus. Seems there's nothing in it at the moment. Cleaning tool. Nurse's research desks. This must be where new inventions are born. Unique items are lined up here. Nurse's personal belongings, I suppose. A beanbag! Pile of powder. I've never smelled this fragrance before. I can't tell whether it's used for food or for fuel. A fluffy bag that's perfect for sitting. If I sat on it, I don't think I'd be able to move. We've got more. Sure,
where was I?
Haven't been to Academia in a while. Let's go to Academia. We got a new thing. We got the merchant.
Well,
right?
well.
It's the presence of a new archetype. Might I see them if you mind to show me them? Let's go.
I've been waiting.
Armed with cash-fueled almighty skills, it can increase battle rewards to provide out-of-combat support. Alchemy, hero passive. Chance of winning a small sum of money each time an enemy is stunned or defeated in overworld combat. Sounds pretty good. Look at that, it's just got a cage of gold in the center. Wild. 7 luck. Gold attack. Deals weak physical almighty damage to one enemy with a high critical hit rate. But it costs 500. It's make it rain. Lucky Find increases likelihood of receiving items after battles by 20%. Damn it. Trader Summit. Increases effects of consumables by 1.2 times. Increases further if archetypes of the same lineages are present. That's pretty cool, actually. Fire Dodge. Increases evasion against fire attacks, which is good because they're weak to fire attacks. And 20. Steals mag from one enemy. Debt Collect. Interesting that you get a 259 and then you don't get anything until 20. That's a little rough. Synthesis, all reset, removes nearly all beneficial effects from all enemies. That's kind of cool. Thief, Baker, or Merchant lineages. And Fortune slots. Low hit rate, but all hits deal critical physical almighty damage. 777. Ooh, baby. We can do that with a brawler. Interesting. I see there's a summoner lineage. Oh my.
I see.
Of course.
Fascinating.
Lucky Find makes me
This
want
right here, all right?
to
I'm
do
counting
this.
on you.
If for no other reason than to get
course.
Lucky Find and then have that on. Spoilers! You know, it'd be what it'd be.
Really?
That's wild.
Good. I'm still getting stronger.
Sounds like a plan. Ill Inheritance. I guess we'll just put on, like, Eddie. What a cool design, though. Yeah, very cool design.
Hello. I'm counting on you. What would you care to know?
I wonder if Nurus is gonna be our... Gunner.
It's conceived. Adieu.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh.
Let's peace out.
You'll come again.
Wonder what the next tier would be. Who knows? To get it, we have to get Merchant to 20. We have to get her to rank 8. That is maxed. Wow. So whatever it is, it also needs another class, probably up to 20, and 32k. That's wild. Wow. Holy shit. Jeebus. Well, that's not happening anytime soon. Oh, fucking heart. Wonder what makes this thing run.
Hello?
First time in a gauntlet runner, eh? That scared me. Like that pipe's in here too. Call the runner phone. There's one in every room. Now, I believe I heard you speculating on the old girl's inner workings. Gauntlet runners use magla crystals as fuel to run, you see. Used to be you'd take your life in your hands when you traveled wilds. Then, thanks to the kingdom's greatest minds, the Gauntlet Runner was born. Runner's actual legs are based on a colossal beast. Made from zero momentum loss, made for zero momentum loss, even on the roughest terrain. Among other things, I've modified this craft with a bit more zip and speed, another step closer to my dream. What dream? Long story, my girl. Best told to a captive audience with no plans for the next few days and nights. Never mind then. Maybe some other time. Anyway, still plenty about the old girl that's a work in progress, but by the time I'm done, she'll have some new tricks. You just watch. It'll be sunset before long, so start thinking about bedding down for the night. Can't run in the dark, and the old girl needs her rest as much as we do. Gauntlet Runner activities. You will continue toward your destination while spending time on the Gauntlet Runner. Utilize its facilities to obtain items, raise abilities, or do other things you wouldn't be able to do in town. Try using the kitchen, reading the books at the bookshelf, or using the washing machine. More activities will become available over time. You can also spend time with your allies while traveling, which may help improve your virtues. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. Igniter? Question mark?
Huh?
Okay, so we can chat with Nearus in the evening. I want to see if we can chat with Stroll to see if we can up his situation.
Speaking of,
Nearus said he got the kitchen up and running. If you're hungry, would you fancy a meal? I hardly consider myself a chef of any great skill, but Stroll said he wanted to try some of the recipes he learned at the Hushed Honeybee. Hey Stroll, what's up, fam? I feel drunk. Are you okay?
I'm sorry.
I'll survive. I can handle the swaying of a carriage, but it's another beast. Seems I'll need to learn to endure it. So we can upgrade the Gauntlet Runner? That's what I would presume. Oh, that's cool.
Let's see here.
Where we are right now.
It's your call.
Alright, looks like we can't talk to Stroll right now. So, time to find an activity. Cooking table. Using the Gauntlet Runner's cooking table to whip up some food for you and your allies, eating prepared meals can grant your party various positive effects. To cook, you'll need ingredients, buy them, win them, or find them lying around. Try to experiment as much as possible. After you've made every dish at least once, you may learn how to create the ultimate culinary masterpiece. Hey, nice. Whose handwriting is that? There are notes here about new potential recipes. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Want to make something? If so, we should try to have everyone teach us their culinary specialty. Not yet. Bookshelf is lined with interesting books. The books I could read are New World Travel Diary. Pride and Persuasion. Not right now. Well, did that say anything about taking time? Presumably. Down below, we had the wash station.
This?
Nuris's homemade washing machine. Washing clothes can sometimes cleanse the mind, too. Doing laundry will take my mind off things, increasing my max MP? Excuse me? Not now.
Understood.
But wild. Increasing my max MP, like permanently or temporarily. This weird tool is actually a cleaning igniter that Nuris modified to create wind that collects dust. Pretty nifty. I know it's hard, but all the lifting and bending over is sure to strengthen your legs, yeah? If I clean the Gauntlet Runner, my max HP will increase.
Got it.
Okay. Appears to be a fictional chronicle of a boy's journey in a fanciful place called the New World. I haven't started reading it. Seems like a book that'll really expand the mind. Want to read it together over by the window? If I read this book, I may gain more imagination. We spend some time? No. Pride and Persuasion. This book outlines useful conversational techniques for convincing others. I haven't started yet. Gain more eloquence. Not now. Okay, so we've got imagination, we've got eloquence, we've got max MP, we've got max HP. And then with the cooking, we can get buffs. I'm gonna do the max MP real quick. I want to see if this is a permanent buff or if it's a temporary buff.
Understood.
Not now. 209.
This? Understood.
Someone else's laundry is in there. I'll go get them and they can do laundry with us. Oh, sure.
Now then.
Gotta keep the water at a consistent temperature to avoid staining the clothing. Why am I a master of laundry, you ask? Because my parents practically beat it into me. Any noble who can't wash his own clothes isn't worth the fabric he wears, or something to that effect. I had to learn all about different materials. In hindsight, I think they were trying to teach me not to take advantage of my title. Wisdom that still serves me to this day.
Nonetheless.
The more time that passes, the more I understand how great my parents were. I did laundry as Stroll extolled the virtues of clean clothes. My mind and body refreshed, I feel my max MP has increased. Protagonist max MP increased by 3. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that that's permanent. Because if it was a temporary buff, I'd assume it'd be like, 10 or 20 or maybe a little bit higher than that, right? But being so small as to be 3, that to me implies that that is a permanent buff. I also found some money in the washing machine. Must have gotten mixed in with the laundry. It's not mine, I don't think. Why don't you just hold on to it? Okay.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon, and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.
Wild. This has been... So, the whole tournament thing and the Gauntlet Runner, I did presume we would get a Gauntlet Runner. The whole tournament thing did come out of left field. Did not see that coming. And the execution on all of this has been kind of wild. At night, the vast wilderness outside town is ensconced in darkness. Forcing your way through the unmarked terrain is very dangerous, even with a stalwart Gauntlet Runner. Instead, establish camp somewhere safe. You can resume your travels the next morning. While at the encampment, you can use any of the facilities on the Gauntlet Runner like usual, but you can also reminisce about the journey with your allies, if you try. 3 days until we reach Martyr. Our first time camping in the Gauntlet Runner. kinda excited. But it'll be a long night, so why not spend some time relaxing with someone? Insects gathered around the campfire. Apparently you can eat these bugs. Well, according to Hulkenberg, anyway. I should try and catch one. Dream Eater Moth. I caught one of the bugs. It's my turn to cook. I should use it as an ingredient. What?
Your thoughts?
How was that ride, eh? Smooth as butter, luxurious as a palace, awe-inspiring, tear-jerking. Absolutely. This runner is such a guilty pleasure. Though credit where it's due, my tinkering certainly helped her make her what she is. Though full disclosure, that's all thanks to a little mechanism I whipped together that keeps her legs from sinking into the dunes. Wouldn't have to worry about the terrain if she could just fly, but that's a story for another day. Off you go. Better get your 40 winks.
Hey.
Looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're going to get, and I'm not up to much. Better keep me company for a while? By recalling the past and planning for the future with Stroll, maybe you can hone your imagination. Not right now. Hulkenberg up to. So we can do eloquence, we can do what was it, temperance? Imagination.
Well met.
Suppose you're as overburdened with free time as I am. Certainly no stranger to traveling, but I've no idea how to spend idle hours. If the idea appeals, might we talk a bit? Imagination.
Be well.
Not right now. His was eloquence, hers is imagination. We still have not done much of any eloquence, but I do think it might behoove us to get one to...
Well met.
2. So let's try to get imagination up to 2. This power we've awoken, I have all sorts of questions, but what I really find curious are these forms we take on. Each has their unique aspects, but one bit they all have in common is their armor-like appearance. What do you make of that? It's cool, it's bizarre, it's kind of scary. You recommend Imagine? I think that's what I picked. I'm gonna say... it's cool.
Certainly.
I think it looks cool.
I see.
I do find the austerity of the designs intriguing, but I was not speaking of how they look per se. In my opinion, the armor encloses the raging forces within us, allowing us to direct that power as one directs a horse by its reins. It is said people lose their magic because they refuse to confront their fears and anxieties, forever unaware of that power lurking within them. That not then the very condition to awaken our slumbering power. Also, hence why it is so exhausting and why it cannot be maintained for long. The ravenous appetite I had afterwards is proof. We do well to practice diligence maintaining our food reserve. Hulkenberg and I talk about things to come. I feel like my imagination ate.
All right.
4 points. That's pretty big. Getting quite late. We have a ways to go yet, so I would very much like to continue chatting with you. Nice. Oh, got a little
Time
money.
marches on, and
She
the
just paid
age
for
of
my
the
drink
new
or something?
king draws nearer.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, my dear passengers. I trust that the sleeping quarters more than exceeded your expectations, eh?
True.
They were better than I'd feared, considering how tiny they are, but I've got a question of my own. Is the desert sand going to do a number on this runner? My boy, remember who maintains this rugged girl. Nary a grain of sand could fit between her seams, I assure you. Regardless, we'll be leaving these arid dunes behind tomorrow.
I knew it!
Wow, runners really are neat, aren't they? A carriage would never be able to get through the desert this fast, but just keep an eye on the road, okay, Nearest? What road? Just marching through the fucking sand. Okay, cool. Artira in 2 days. Ooh. What got going on now?
Hey.
About to do some maintenance on my weapons. If you've got the time, why not join me? It's refreshing for the mind as it is for our battles. Maintaining my weapon may help me improve my focus during a fight and hone my courage. Maybe later.
See.
Okay, so courage, we do have the ability to move up as we're close to moving up.
Well
as well.
met.
Thinking I'd ponder some military strategies over my game board, an abstract game of military tactics. I bet this is wisdom.
Well then.
Not right now. Okay, so courage and wisdom from them during the day. More imagination. I'm gonna start reading this book. Oh, I should have checked the thing. To be honest with you, I've realized something. There are so many things in this world which, very simply, I don't understand. There are so many things I've learned since we've started traveling together. Same here.
That's right.
Same for me. You relate, huh? There's so much one needs to see firsthand to comprehend. Hey, I know this time we're traveling for our mission, but if all goes well, I want to go on another journey where I'm free to do what I want. Sounds like fun.
Right.
Let's do it. It sounds like fun. Let's. I don't know where we'd go, but I'm looking forward to it already. Of course, if I want to contribute further to whatever you're doing in the future, I'll have to keep working hard. Oh, can you think of anything I can do to help you out? Always, like, people just generally need more acceptance and encouragement in their lives.
Well then.
I'll be happy as long as you keep cheering me on.
What?
Oh, you want? I can do that, no problem. That's what I'm good at. Hey, ho, let's go. Oh. This conversation kind of went off in a unique direction, huh? Keep reading the book. Describes a new world. If a place other than this really exists, I'd like to visit some.
All right.
4 points. Getting closer.
I say, we could stop for a break.
Break time. There's something up ahead, so we'll be stopping there.
Coming now into view is the Tree of Prophecy, a resplendent tapestry of color against the backdrop of the bleak desert. One theory is that the tree's roots gorge on the land's magla, and still another is that it gorges on those enraptured by its colorful foliage, as though themselves snared by the bewitching magla surrounding the tree. The gauntlet runner comes to a stop at its base.
Here we are. Shall we get a closer look? Tree of Prophecy. Fucking wild. It's so pretty.
That's
not just the leaves. It's as though the whole area has been painted red. Dungeon?
Certainly.
I don't know. Place calls to mind a picture book I read as a child. Told of a great tree located somewhere within the country whose colors shifted to foretell unusual events in the times ahead. How exactly would a tree foretell the future? How does a plant grow this huge in the middle of a desert? I'm not sure if this explains it, but I'm sensing an incredible amount of magla in the air here. Your hypothesis is correct. That would make this no mere tree, no sir, but a magical organism that feeds off of magla. As a matter of scientific research, I must document this discovery. Norris pulled a sheet of paper and brush from his pocket and began to draw the landscape in front of him.
Hey.
Norris, how'd you get so good at drawing?
Yeah.
Boy, meticulous documentation is the foundation of all good research. There you have it. I'm finished here. Take it as a keepsake. Giving it to me? Sure I can have this?
Yeah.
Of course. I've already committed it to all the safety of my mind. I have no need for the sketch itself anymore. Prophecy drawing. I received Norris's research picture. The drawing is intricately detailed and could accurately convey the full majesty of this place to a viewer who has never been here.
Hey there!
Can we give it to Maria? I bet she'd love to see something from our journey, and we could tell her a story about this place. Time we're in Grand Trad, you should give this drawing to Maria. Fuck yeah. magical organism in the form of a tree. Say, aren't berries in the same classification? Precisely. Gallica is a most precious treasure as well. I've been observing her very closely, which is giving me great insight into my own research into flight.
Huh?
What? You've been observing me this whole time? Recall you asking, so knock it off.
However,
turning our attention back to the tree, I've heard that it tints itself blue to herald the arrival of favorable developments. I wonder what manner of anomaly its current color portends. Took a brief detour, but I feel that seeing this rare sight has broadened my wisdom.
All right.
Nice. Oh, I do this. Scratchy ear. That's cool.
The gauntlet runner
it's
arrives
really cool
in
to
a
just
quiet
like see
clearing, concealed by
like
boulders, as darkness reclaims the
you
wilderness.
look at the
for
tree and got
itself.
smarter,
Monsters
got
run
wiser.
rampant in the wilds. To sleep here would be perilous, unless from within the safety of a gauntlet runner. The party, secure in their gauntlet runner, spends the night in peace, hidden from hungry gazes.
I do want to point out that this map is boring. It's taken us two days on a gauntlet runner to go the distance that it took us a day to travel in a carriage. Be in Martira the day after tomorrow. What kind of place Martira is? Good question. Lumibi! Tree of Prophecy, a towering, rich crimson tree of overwhelming presence that rises from the middle of the desert roughly halfway between Grand Trad and Martira. In reality, it is a magical plant that feeds on ambient magma as its nutrients. As a result, it is sensitive to subtleties in nature such as weather and earthquakes, and is said to reflect impending natural disaster through the color of its foliage. In recent years, both its leaves and the surrounding fog have been tinged red, a never-before-seen reaction. The superstitious wonder if this new omen marks dark days to come.
speaking of...
Excellent timing. I've just heard something that caught me rather by surprise. After our cart to Grand Trad was beset by bandits and you were thrown off, you walked the desert to reach
Your
the city.
thoughts?
It's a vast, empty expanse. A land to get lost in, I'm sure. Well, I had Gallica.
Fair point.
Of course, you no need to worry with her at your side, I suppose that's why she's been tasked with the role of messenger.
So?
Well, in the event that you ever find yourself lost in the wilds, let me offer my own advice. Search for the first star. That star moves to the west in the evening and to the east at night. Time and again, it helped correct my path in my journey to find His Highness. Still, I must say, I did not expect to return to a life on the road. It will be a long journey yet. Perhaps we'd better rest while we can. There actually a moving star in the night sky? Because that would be really cool if there was, and I could use it later on to orient myself. Wonder if a certain dragonborn.
Hey.
More imagination. Probably.
I see.
Probably gonna do imagination. I want to go see if Nuris is somewhere though. Probably downstairs, I would presume. Doing, buddy? Oh, that's you, lad, just in time. Mind helping me out a bit? I was about to give the reactor an inspection. Abstruse and convoluted as it is, rest assured, a look won't do you any harm. Wisdom. I do want to do something with Nearest, but wisdom is not really the thing that I want to focus on at the moment, so I would rather do imagination. I do wonder if I should prioritize the books instead of talking to people. Hold on. I'm kind of curious, like, if you finish a book, if you get anything out of it.
What's that?
Aside from just, you know, the same number of points that you always get, like if there's like a completion bonus or something. He stared up at the heavens, or if you even can complete a book. There, a sparkle in the azure firmament caught his eye. The moon at midday? No. Despite its cold, stony glow, this was no moon nor star. There were those who said it was the corpse of an ancient, indomitable dragon. Others said it was a pavilion in the sky, erected by Empyrean beings.
Oh, yeah?
So he sees a strange light shining in the sky. The way it's written, I feel like this light is meant to be the key to the new world or something. Generally focus on what was the closest to the next level until all aspects were to that next level. Not sure if that's wise, but it's what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna be spreading points around with the idea of trying to, like, get them to the next level is the situation. Imagination is close to 2, which is one of the reasons why I'm reading this book, but Stroll also had imagination as a bonus, so, you know, it's kind of like a, which do I choose? And I don't know, you know? What do you think the light is? The remains of a dragon, or a pavilion built by Empyrean beings? I think it's a pavilion built by Empyrean.
Oh, that's right.
It's a pavilion.
Right?
There's something dreamlike about people who live in the sky, isn't there? You think they have wings?
Now then.
Hey! To imagination. We are now inspired. Is one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If true sovereignty is thy aspiration, furnish thyself with the creativity to bring the ideal world of thy thoughts to fruition.
Why, that's...
A conqueror needs that precious kindling with which a follower's passions may be inflamed. I know this new world is just fictional, but I'd want to visit if it were a real place. No more left to read in this book. Yeah.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Oh shit!
Finally! We're out of the desert!
Huh? Nice.
Oh wow, I missed all this green!
Poor Stroll.
Why is it so bumpy?
What's it so
That'd be the
bumpy?
change in terrain, lad.
See, got to let the suspensions get used to hard ground instead of soft sand.
Must be nice to fly everywhere.
Are we?
Did we just crash?
Are we being attacked?
Of course not. That's
a cannonade.
Oh! We got two peeps fighting each other.
My star is rising! Ah!
You had to know something was going wrong. It went into anime mode, and absolutely.
Sanctism will reign!
Oh, of course these two are gonna fight it out constantly.
It's them. Remember, from the opening ceremony. I think one of them is Guido, Forden's confidant, and the other is Luis's man, Gladel.
Prominent candidates. Shouldn't the king's magic petrify them for their aggression?
No, see where they're aiming. They're not shooting to kill, just to take out the opposing runner's legs.
Seems like it doesn't seem like they're trying to land a fatal shot, just aiming to break the opposing side's gauntlet runner, which would screw them out of the competition.
stuck out in the wilds with no working runner. Whether they survive or not, they're dashed well out of the race.
So 'tis a clash to halt each other's advance. Damned fools couldn't resist a show of force.
Look! Over by the legs. That crier is there too.
I see. Acting as witness to the higher candidate's conflict.
He is
It
way
seems
too
Gladel
close to
cannot
that
match
shit.
Guido's firepower.
Our plan hinges on winning Luis's favor. and we afford to abandon Gladel if he's one of Luis's supporters.
What's our plan? If we just hang back and watch, Godot's gonna win, and Forden gets a leg up on the competition.
Badland is nothing if not dedicated? Oh shit, I don't fucking know. I don't want to help Gladel. Gladel's an asshat. My goal isn't to prevent Forden from getting a leg up in the competition. My goal is to garner the attention of Luis, which may be done by helping Gladel. However, it can also just be done by doing what we originally intended. That guy's an asshat. But if he's anything like Zorba, maybe he's an asshat for a reason. Also, Godot is also an asshat, and I don't like him. So
let's give Gladel a hand here.
Good thinking. That way we could win Luis's regards.
Agreed. Let us ride to Gladel's aid.
Bunch of hats made of ass, absolutely.
Say, hold on. You realize you're a no-name candidate, eh? If he wants to shut you out, he'll not have to aim for just our legs.
It's a runner, isn't it? If things get too dicey, we'll just run. Didn't you say we had the fastest craft around?
Fine. Suppose there's no room for caution if we want the world's eyes on us.
Does this thing have cannons?
Let's make
Do
sure
we get to
he
do
owes
a
us
runner
big.
battle?
There should be an external runner phone out there.
We're here to help! Withdraw, Gladel! Who goes there? Why do you stand for Luis's forces? Well, sorry, can't get into it now. That Gauntlet runner. You're that commoner candidate who destroyed the Grand Cathedral! Was that not enough? You would profane the sacred a second time!
So be it. In God's name, be thou punished.
Looks like he knows the magic won't shield us. He's aiming to kill us here and now. Okay, well, not what I was
dare
hoping.
Interfere in my fight. Know your place. Is it fame you seek? You thought by confronting me, you might lift your own names. Then you chose the wrong opponent.
I hate to interrupt, old egg, but it's a touch more complex than that.
We of the Crown Theocracy's monk army have silenced all who would oppose the eminence of God.
Old
Your
egg.
petty ruses are beneath me. Now you shall know how powerless you truly are.
Remember, the king's magic means we cannot move to strike Godot himself.
Go for his followers first. We'll thin their numbers and turn the tide.
Go, my brethren! Put the fear of God into these impious commoners!
Don't forget about the petrification magic!
Yikes.
No holding back! What a mess. Let's get on with it! No.
Yikes. Don't press the red button.
Warrior!
Yeah, I guess.
I'll cut you down!
I will fight with merchant!
Fuck it.
I stand ready.
Doesn't
Come!
honestly seem that bad.
Strike me if you dare. This is nothing. Only a flesh wound.
What could you hope to achieve? Dear God.
He knows we can't attack him. He's toying with us.
Warrior!
Hack and slash!
And so come forth, royal soul! Maybe not.
How does Abacus do?
Is everyone all right?
Oh, great.
Join
Gotcha.
with me.
So we can do jump thrust. We can do hammer of justice. We should do these things.
No, not this. Oh, power of heroes!
We're actually just going guard.
Witness the power of sanctism.
Smackus with the abacus.
This is God's judgment.
Macicus.
What could you hope to achieve?
Alright, we are actually going to yield
first.
turn.
Coin can solve problems a blade cannot.
We are going to Medi.
We're not out of this yet.
That's such a cool fucking design.
I stand ready.
And we're gonna synthesis. We're gonna jump strike
Coordination is key.
Roar with royal might.
To him, know your place. Peasants!
Was weak to piercing.
Give me your aid. I call upon royal power within. Behold
Resistance.
my power.
Interesting. Gold attack. More resilient
More
than
resilient than I expected. I would lose nothing by conceding this fight. But the faithful are watching. For the sake of my dear brethren, I must hold nothing back. Now, feel the righteous truth of sanctism engraved upon your flesh.
Does this mean he's getting serious?
Rise, my brothers.
Hang in there.
This is nothing.
Sanctism will reign!
Okay. We're gonna jump thrust.
Let me help. And thus I end it.
I can't afford to hold back.
We're
Go
gonna
for
yield
it.
turn.
Witness me, brethren.
We're going to
With healing
Medi.
power. I'm obliged.
Chant! Sanctism will reign! Take this!
Just whopped me.
Allies, together!
He resists, but it does inflict a one-time weakness.
It's up to you now.
Pierce through them.
Falkenberg's ploy exposed
Behold
a new
my
weakness.
power!
So now he is weak to pierce for one hit.
You first.
We're gonna yield turn again.
We can do this.
Heal.
Twas needed.
Resistance is futile.
Sanctism will reign!
Is that all?
Ow.
Oh, please.
Double ow.
This!
Triple ow.
Is that all?
Quadruple ow.
Comrade!
Okay,
lend
he's
me your
weak.
strength.
Do this.
I'll run you through.
I go to you.
So, the faithful are broken before you, yet your desperate struggling is for naught. You cannot defy the inevitable. I am immune to all your wicked harms.
Oh, he gets to do whatever he wants, and we can't even get near him.
Bend the knee and yield to the divine truth of sanctism. Now, are you prepared for the end?
Ah, I think not, you rotter!
What have you done to my gauntlet runner?
With
I was gonna
nothing
say,
to lose.
some-
At the very least, I can thrash your old clunker until it's inoperable.
This is a waste of my time. So be it. You'll face your divine punishment soon enough.
I'm not gonna kill you right now because while I'm trying to kill you, your pilot's gonna smash my
Finally,
gauntlet
he took the
runner.
hint. Hey, get down here.
And he, of course, is not gonna be happy with us.
What are you playing at? You think I owe you now or something? I would have been fine without your meddling.
Hold up, is that Singing Girl? Are you hurt?
Are you hurt?
Of course I'm not hurt. Look, what are you after?
Why, Gladell, surely you can spare some manners for a crew that saved our lives? Honestly, that got a bit ugly for my liking.
Well, well, well. Do my eyes deceive me? Juna the songstress in the flesh. What brings you all the way out here? A little tryst on the road, is it?
Nothing so saucy. I'm afraid this cad's just my chauffeur. Now please, darling, a little privacy, or I'll have to charge for an interview.
Fair enough, miss. Fair enough. Nothing you're not used to. Consider me chastened and shooed. Besides, I might have found another angle here that's just as promising.
You surprised me out there, love. You bested Godot. So you're not just a pretty face. You were more help than my useless driver, at least.
Alright, you started some shit.
Here,
Also, can you stop
however
with the
talented
hearts?
and famed a songstress she may be, you must remember to contain yourselves.
Hulkenberg?
Songstress? Wait, is she the
You're
same
the
media
one
lady
who
who
has
sang
the
at the opening
problem, it
ceremony?
feels like.
But that's... oh, blast it all, I can't take it anymore.
Oh.
I know the suspensions anywhere.
That actually makes me happy. That makes me
those
happy.
are quality parts and no mistake. Luis really shells out for his own.
I'm glad that Nura's was not doing the creepy old man vibe. Subverted expectations. Very, very pleased by these subverted expectations.
By the crown, you can't be serious! She is Juna!
Whereas
Kingdom's
Hulkenberg
greatest
is the Juna
singer,
fan.
The dulcet diva! Oh, this is preposterous! Surely I can't be the only one starstruck? Really? No one else wants to shake her hand? Well, then on behalf of this group, I suppose it falls to me.
You're an interesting little ensemble.
Nidia or Nidia. I think they said Nidia.
Where did you...
Hey,
Hulkenberg just said. What the fuck?
An airborne gauntlet runner. He's actually finished it.
Oh no, that's Luis.
Luis.
You look like you're not sleeping well, Luis.
My lord, Luis. How kind to provide a personal escort.
I want him to just be like, I'm not here for you, bitch. You had ads when they said it? Gotcha. Yeah, I believe she's Nidia, which I think is detailed by their eyes, but I'm not entirely sure. Now's your chance, attack!
So that's it. I thought it was strange that a candidate like Gladell got stuck playing someone's driver.
But she was still the Sanctist's pick for the opening ceremonies? Guess even Forden's camp has to bend to popular opinion.
My humblest apologies, my lord Luis, for this travesty, especially when you had graced me with the privilege of bearing the lovely Lady Juna.
Glad to see Lady Juna's safe, at least.
Oh, that's a deep voice for such a tyke.
I could have crushed that churchman like a bug, and I would have if these insolent fools hadn't.
I'm sure. Sorry, don't much care.
It would seem you had to clean up my associate's mess. I'd like to express my gratitude, but if I might ask, who are you?
Kid's got crazy eyes. Oh, they've all got crazy eyes for the most part. I'm not going with the we're your supporters. I'm a candidate.
I'm just another candidate.
Indeed. Then we are both striving for the throne. One would think you commoners, but for the Lady Knight at your side. And you have a gauntlet runner. Most curious. What made you decide to enter the competition?
Looks like he's more interested than we anticipated. This might be our chance, so choose your words wisely, okay?
No, fuck that. I don't give a shit about helping him. I want to become king. I don't like all these choices. The game's making me feel like there are right and wrong choices. And it's getting me. Tell him the truth. Help save the prince. He might see us as an enemy.
I know you want to get this right, but this is no time to get lost in thought.
Oh no! Are they but thou musting us? Oh no. Fuck it. We're bound to complete secrecy when it comes to the prince. Should I really share that?
The more you hesitate, the more suspicious you'll sound. You've got to get this right.
But thou must.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Fine. Don't like it, but fine.
I want to help you, Count Luis.
Oh? You fight in my name, do you? Really now? So, you thought you'd step in for a little self-promotion?
We want to help anyone in need. That's what we believe in.
Anyone? Most interesting. However, my immediate needs are met in terms of swordhounds.
Oh, come now. Don't they have a certain charisma to them? Why? I dare say I saw them use magic without igniters.
Please, I know we can help you. We want nothing more than to see your vision realized, Lord Luis.
You do know what that vision is built on, don't you? If you would claim yourself my ally, then prove your power before all the kingdom's eyes. You can't change the world without power, after all. If you can manage that, I'll consider your proposal.
See you, loves.
Don't think this changes anything. Come on, Hector!
Hector! The puppy's name is Hector!
It soars like a damn bird.
Right then. That could have gone worse. We were lucky we managed to connect with Luis this early.
No thanks to that Glodell. Even should we be accepted, he'll be no ally of ours.
Well, at the very least, Luis knows our faces. All we have to do now is avoid screwing it up.
He wants to see our power, does he? Then let's find Jaime, bring him to justice, and show the nation we're a force to be reckoned with.
As the chirping birds return to their nests,
Righto.
and the darkness claims its dominion, the Gauntlet Runner at last arrives at its repose, a place grown thick with trees. Are the sounds from between the trees just the leaves being caressed by the wind? Or are they the whispers of the beguiling beings of the dark? The party never has to find out, for they are safe within the Gauntlet Runner.
Fucking ominous as fuck.
Ah! Oh, damn it, blast!
Did you hear that?
Give me
It's
Gunner.
over. The end of the road. So ends the life of the genius engineer.
Let's say we go check on him.
Oh.
Hey! Nurse, you okay?
Oh, you two. Terribly sorry. It's nothing, really.
Seem troubled.
Is there something troubling you?
Ah, well, I suppose you could say that. It's just The runner, you see? She's in top shape, but I wanted to make her peerless. An absolute beauty, you know, top of her class. Something that would make even old Luis's runner look like a ballet apple cart. I'd not be floundering so much if I just had a bit of spark.
A spark?
Yes, my girl. A spark of inspiration. A moment of epiphany, like when I saw the lost relic.
Lost relic? Doesn't ring a bell.
Ah, yes, context. They say that long, long ago, there was a civilization so highly advanced it was beyond all modern understanding. Automation ruled the day. People lived surrounded by machinery with no need to work. Legend has it that they lived lives of convenience and comfort, but somehow that civilization just up and disappeared. God only knows what happened to them.
Sounds kind of far-fetched already.
Hear me out, would you? The point is, once in a stretch, you hear about someone unearthing relics from those days of yore. Absolutely inscrutable to the layman, don't you know? But those in the know would recognize such a prize at a single glance.
Have you seen one?
Have you ever seen one of these yourself?
Oh, yes. When I was but a young sproglet, there was this loony old inventor in my neighborhood, both quite brilliant and quite daffy, as they often are. That old fellow only showed me his find once, but even seeing it lit a fire in me, like being struck by lightning. After that, it was like a boiling pot. Ideas, ideas, ideas rising to the surface. And my tinkering always came out marvelous, some proper court engineer-worthy genius. Something about it utterly captured my imagination. The lost relic, I mean.
Wow. You could try getting him to show you again.
If only I could. That old fellow went back to his own hometown. That single solitary glimpse of the past was all I had. The old goat. He told me he'd leave me the relic in his will.
Okay, so where's this guy's hometown?
Oh, some tiny hamlet somewhere on the outskirts of Martira. A village by the name of Camiro or some such.
Okay.
This one's important.
Providing a spark, an old inventor Nurus once knew is living in Camiro, a village near Martira. He may be able to tell us more about the relic he once showed Nurus. No deadline. Rank of 1. We get 5 heroes instants. Nice. We left Nurus, who dissolved into doom and gloom again, and headed towards our narrow sleeping quarters in the column.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Sweet.
Oh.
So we'll arrive in Martira this evening then. Good. Soon we'll be liberated from this blasted shaking. Liberated? You believe I take offense to that? The fairy girl's right, you know. A carriage could never keep up this pace. Gratitude would be appreciated. Apologies, I am grateful. It's just hard to show it while on the verge of losing your lunch. That, and I pray we can avoid further hindrances like yesterday's.
Isn't that...
Once we arrive in town, we're supposed to meet with Barden, right? I'm sure the sights will be distracting, but let's not keep the man waiting.
Departing the capital and barreling southward, the party's gauntlet runner at last arrives in the old castle town, Martira, where their client, Barden, awaits. The towering castle's stark walls stare down coldly upon its visitors. The only question now is whether or not this gambit was the right move.
I believe there are other questions, like, will we even be able to find Heisme?
'Tis far more desolate a place than I'd heard.
Not many people out. It's like everyone's afraid of something.
Ah, you're here. I've been hoping you'd show up soon.
I know it's been a while, but we pledged to help you. We'll not go back on our word.
Glad to hear it. I'm sure Lady Joanna will also be pleased. Oh, your pardon. Lady Joanna rules this city. She's also a most holy sanctoress of the Sanctus Church. She lives there, in Criganti Castle.
I take it the locals are hoping for His Eminence Fortin to win the tournament.
Aye, naturally. No sane and righteous man would want Luis on the throne. Speaking of, I heard there was a scuffle on the road between two candidates gauntlet runners. The criers say Fortin's allies suffered the worst of it.
Ah, well, that's Luis's camp for you. I assume it was them, I mean. Some nasty characters at his heel, eh?
All fights have casualties.
But surely all fights have casualties.
I suppose. There is truth in that.
Hey, read the room, will ya?
Captain, are you sure we can trust these strangers? These bounty boarders are always in it just for the money.
Looks like his officer's not on our side just yet.
Dinna be rude, Morris. They've come a long way for our sakes. Now, I'm sure you must be knackered from the journey. Let me show you to an inn. You can try our local speciality, perhaps.
Ah, you've a local delicacy. 'Twould be a welcome treat.
You chaps go on. The old girl needs a bit of maintenance after carrying us so far.
Can't that wait until you've eaten?
Too much at stake, lad. Go on, don't worry, and I'll sort her out. Might well fix the Bally Waterworks while I'm at it.
Come, everyone.
We can take
This
baths.
Is this some kind of smoked dish?
Roasted larvae of the giant sandworm. It's Martira's culinary speciality. Cooked to a delicate finish, just enough to preserve all the natural juices and flavors of the innards.
Oh, good. Larval innards.
Look, I'd try it.
Tis a unique texture, to be sure, but the taste is divine. Exquisite.
You're completely serious, aren't you?
Something the matter? Do try some of your own before it gets cold.
Looks great. Looks great.
Looks great.
What is with that smile? Not you two.
Oh, the sound. Rich flavors are bursting in my mouth. It's surprising. Bursting in my mouth.
Young man. Passion worthy of a royal candidate. How was it? Sometimes the insides can twitch a bit, but it's harmless, I assure you.
Would that I had time to try more of your dishes, but... to business. Can you fill us in on the details of all these kidnappings?
Yeah, give me the deets, my man.
Our wee ones have been going missing for at least 6 months. All told, we're looking at 15 children now unaccounted for.
And do you think this Heismay is your culprit?
I'm told he's a disgraced knight with nowhere else to turn. We've no proof, but the pieces fit. Seems to me that with nothing else to lose, he's gone rogue.
For a man who claimed a knight's honor to stoop to such horrors.
Why? There's gotta
It
be
is
like...
unacceptable. We must end this quickly, for our sake and his own.
If I recall the brief, it'll be quite a feat to even get near this Heismay. His hideout was in the midst of the sandworm's territory, yes?
Aye, well remembered. He certainly isn't going to make this easy for us.
So... is Heismay's hideout way out here? Looks pretty far from Martira.
A giant sandworm's nest in the wasteland, reputed to be the hideout of Heismay the Kidnapper. The area is subject to a unique weather phenomenon known as a sand flash.
It's your call.
There's a runner.
Rival Gauntlet Runner. A major candidate's Gauntlet Runner seems to be here.
Here's where we are now.
Now that you mention it, I have to wonder how he can even survive out there.
We've been chasing any lead we have, but we can't figure it all out. We're in over our heads.
Let's work together to save this town.
We're awful grateful to have you. And don't worry, we'll pay you what you're due. After all, nobody else in the royal capital would give it a second glance.
We help anyone in need. That's why we've come this far.
Inspiring words, young man. Now, I hope you're not full yet. We've a whole spread of other dishes for you. Now this is the pride of the town. A fine sweetmeat made from the juvenile sandworm's entrails. You'll find this tastes as sweet as any dessert. Together, I'm sure we can find a way to the stronghold without falling prey to those worms. Now, please, dig in.
I do gotta say, why are all of this town's delicacies based on the larval or juvenile forms of these sandworms if the sandworms themselves are so dangerous that you can't go track a single man into their territory? Right? It's like, surely to get the larva and the juveniles, you have to go hunt in their territory. And if they're so you get me? You get me? Like, I'm just, it's not computing.
Tis altogether different from the roast. Why, 'tis succulent as a mellow fruit. Another marvel.
You must have gotten used to eating anything you had to out in the wilds, eh?
I'll schedule a meeting with the Honourable Lady Joanna tomorrow. Please, rest your weary heads for today.
If they aren't here, calling a free meal out of us, that is.
Now, let's go.
I don't like Morris's face. Got that wild look.
It's been a while.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
We're going to meet the lady of the town first thing in the morning, so get your beauty sleep, okay? Okay.
What now?
Okay. Alright, it's 11 o'clock. I think that is a good place for us to go ahead and end this session. We made it to a new town. We've got some new stuff going on. Presumably, we'll have a whole, deadline, quest line scenario going on after we meet Joanna. And we'll go from there. Because there's got to be, like, a deadline for the...
What now?
Yeah, there's no deadline for the get to Brylehaven scenario yet. So that's pretty interesting. Report into Maria. I wonder if we won't be able to do this for a while. It kind of bugs me. I'm hoping that it doesn't, like, pigeonhole or cut you off in certain instances like that. That will be very frustrating, but we'll see. And sometimes in a game like this, there is, like, a right and wrong answer in regards to whether or not you want to, like, have a perfect run. Like, you take, like, Persona 5, technically there are plenty of routes that you can go through to, like, do perfect runs or near perfect runs, right? But if you don't do specific things, often it gets out of whack and unoptimized and makes it very, very difficult to be able to do it, so... we'll see. We'll see how tight this game actually is in regards to that type of stuff. Anyways, that is going to be the end of this session. We should be back tomorrow, probably with some more PoE 2, maybe some more Metaphor, that whole jazz, and we'll see how that all works out. No, don't leave us. I need to go to sleep. I'm sorry. Goodbye. 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 Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.